Good afternoon, guys and girls of Instagram, Spotify, and every other platform that we're on now, YouTube. We're on all of them, so it's cool. Thanks for joining another episode of Bros with Brains. I've got here with me my fellow co-hosts, Big Aaron Scaffy, and the midway through prep, slightly hungry and tired, but still looking ravishingly young man, Chris. How we doing, boys?
Good, man. Good.
Scaffy was just telling us about McDonald's $5.
Man,
he's eating
penny penny pinches. Is that what it is?
No. So it's like the Mac.
Like
it's the Macca's app, and what happens is during November they do 30 deals in 30 days or whatever.
I swear to God, you tell me they do this every month. It's not just like this month.
No. So what they do is, what they were doing is, it used to be like last year as well. Like November was the month of 30 deals, 30 deals in 30 days, right? And it's a different deal every day. Some of them are really good, and some of them are just real shit. You're like, I'm not going to do that. But they have the cheeseburger. So it's a small cheeseburger meal with an extra cheeseburger. And it's either $4 or $5, depending on, I guess, how the Macca's people feel when they decide to release that special. After November, like all of December, they started giving people with the app like different deals. And I think it's obviously honed in on what deals they've taken advantage of.
Bro, have they got
in November?
You haven't got that secret menu? Do they have a secret menu?
They do have a secret menu. I don't look at it, to be honest. I think it's like you can get like 5-cent cheeseburgers and shit, but you have to have all this shit in place. And I'm like, I can't be fucked. But for $4 or $5 for a small cheeseburger meal, an extra cheeseburger, and then I buy a large chips and a frozen Coke and it's less than $10, man, I'm done. I'm good. I'm in a growth phase. I don't give a fuck.
Do you stack the cheeseburgers and make a double cheeseburger?
Depends how I'm feeling.
Kind of make it like a mini Big Mac because you got the
I could do a cheeseburger in one bite.
My enjoyment. It would decrease my enjoyment of the process. I like to unwrap one cheeseburger. Then unwrap the next one.
It really depends on my time frame of how fast I'm eating this food. Like if I can sit down and enjoy it, I'll take it in. But it's like it's straight in if I need to go. So
what is the favorite fast food of both of you two lovely gentlemen?
Before that, do you reckon you can fold up and do a cheeseburger in one bite?
I can do a cheeseburger in one bite. I don't think I can. I've done it. I will do it next ep if I need to do it. Like
this week.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not saying I do it often. I'm just saying I can do it. There's a difference.
It's not my proudest wank, but I do it.
You have a big gaping hole, so you don't have any issues opening that mouth.
Is what we do. You gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
Back up.
Yes.
Yours would have to be McDonald's, Scaffy, surely.
Man, this is the problem. Like when we say favorite, it's not Macca's, but Macca's is consistent. So it's like I know what I'm getting every single time.
See, and I feel that way about grilled.
I agree. Grilled, Nando's, like, you pay a little bit more, but you're usually getting the same thing every time. And that's what I'm happy with that. I don't like going to like a...
You know what's a bit of a low-key underdog?
What's that?
A Porto.
So I've never had a Porto.
Yes.
It's good, man.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
Really good.
I don't think there's one close to where I am. I think they're all in the
chips
city.
Are sensational.
Yeah,
that is the word. That's the term I was looking for. Sensational.
Yeah.
They also got a little bit of pineapple on one of the burgers.
Oh yeah, the Bondi burger. Ooh. Ironically, it's sold in like Queensland on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I wonder why. So for me, it's like I love Hungry Jack's burgers. Give me a triple cheeseburger from Hungry Jack's over a triple cheeseburger from Macca's.
There for 4 years, I'd still stick my dick inside each one of those.
100%.
To me, Hungry Jack's is like the fucking pits of existence.
No, but it's the chips that do it for me. They changed to fat chips.
It's a poor man's McDonald's.
Bullshit.
No,
those flame grilled burgers, bro.
No, the burgers.
That nice flame grilled meat.
I'm talking about purely cheeseburger for cheeseburger. I'm not talking about the other burgers.
Yeah.
If you're going to go on a whole, because where I used to live in Cairns, there was a Hungry Jack's and there was a McDonald's right next to each other.
They're still there.
They're still there. But do you know how many times I went through the Hungry Jack's drive-thru compared to McDonald's?
Yeah, no, but it's because you'd also get stabbed at the Hungry Jack's drive-thru. Let's be real. No, but like if it was up to me, I'd get like a triple cheeseburger only from Hungry Jack's. I'd get Macca's fries and then just a frozen Coke from. Actually, I'd probably get a frozen Pepsi just to be different from KFC. Just because and then that's it. That's my perfect meal. I'm done. Anyway,
as he stuffs his face with his Macca's chips.
Yes, I'm hungry. I've got frozen. And I've got a frozen Coke.
I can never go past a double-loaded, double meat lovers pizza from Domino's.
Is that the double bacon cheeseburger pizza? Have you had that one?
Yeah,
that's too much for me.
But like a double loaded meat lovers with some extra chicken. Oh, and then you pair that with like either a nice tub of Ben and Jerry's or just a few donuts. Easy.
Disgusting.
Not too heavy on the guts. Not too filling. Yeah. I know that I'm going to have a good time. A nice meat sweat up.
Dude, cheesy crust pizza from Domino's is the bomb. Like any topping, whatever. Cheesy crust and then a custard scroll. I'm sorted.
Let's be real. Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Oh, man. Domino's now.
So you're going Domino's all day.
It used to be Pizza Hut.
Did you
guys ever go to Pizza Hut dine-in?
Yeah, 100%.
The
Eagle Boys. I haven't seen them. No.
Man, they used to be good, but I don't know for whatever reason.
Are they even still around anymore?
I think they're gone. Domino's
I think Domino's has come back like they've had a resurgence and they're just like they've come ham on the marketing and like the business model in Australia.
Yeah. Pizza Hut pizzas have gone to shit now.
There's like those little cheap ones, like the $5, $3, whatever they are.
Yeah. And you can also get the New York style one.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, post comp last like when I was in Melbourne, got on some very, very enjoyable brownies. And then went and got a New York style pizza.
That's so good.
Absolutely destroyed the shit out of it. I had no plans for photo shoots. I was like, I just need to get back to training and I want some food in my body. Fucking sweet.
I just need to get back to my new set point of fat.
Got my consciousness a little bit more elevated and went and grabbed myself a nice New York style double meat pizza. Oh,
man, I'll tell you what actually slapped very hard after the second show attempt prep, maybe the first attempt got cancelled, right? Because of COVID. What I did was I went and got because I really am a fan of with like a lot of and I was talking to a client about this not long ago. I'm not a massive fan of like the real, like the loaded cookies and the loaded donuts that are just filled with shit.
Yeah, it's too much.
Right?
No, it's too much.
Right?
Really?
I agree. Too much.
It's one of those things that looks good, and then you taste it, and you're like, "This is way too much." So I'm a massive fan of just like an original glazed, like Krispy Kreme. But you put it in the air fryer, and it is magical. So I'm a big fan of like simple things done very well, and like loaded things with a whole bunch of chocolate and all that sort of shit. Bro, I literally did like 2 cookies once, and I couldn't eat any more because I felt like sick. I felt sick and I felt like shit.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like the loaded donuts and the loaded cookies. It's like I can appreciate obviously the effort and
it looks
everything.
Cool, right?
And it looks good. You're right. Like, it's an aesthetically pleasing thing to look at. But then I'm like,
oh, it's heavy on the guts.
Yeah, it's just too much. Like, yeah, that's too much. It's too much. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can do them, but like I'll get like the 4-pack or whatever because it's cheaper. But at the same time, I'll like cut them in half and like try a bit of this one and try a bit of that one, as opposed to just like
see that
smash the whole thing in one go. But yeah, like, I love them for the mix of flavors. If it's the right flavors, like some of them are just like, here's this custard mixed with this milk cream and that, and it's like, but when there's like a simple like cinnamon Nutella one or something, or like a chocolate honeycomb or something, like, oh yeah, okay, cut that bad boy in half. Yeah, that goes hard. But when they start mixing like 51 different flavors, I'm not even enjoying the flavors that are in there. I was like,
right. They go overboard and they put like all these ingredients in there, and you're like, just give me a nice soft
dough with some nice cinnamon like glaze, and then throw.
Bro, how good is just an original cinnamon donut?
Yeah,
like if it's Donut King goes hard.
Donut King,
that you can never go past the fresh off the bowl. Donut King.
Not many people can do it well, but Donut King slap very hard on that. They do very well on that.
It's the one thing they kept well when all like the gourmet donuts and desserts started opening up. They just kept their simple cinnamon donuts.
Honestly,
for like $2.
Between that and like almost the Coles donuts that you can buy, the plain donuts from Coles, just because they're the same. They're just simple and the same every time. Like you know what you get.
Bro, the Coles double choc ultimate cookies are fucking sensational.
Oh, no, white chip.
Any of those, any day
of the week.
Cookies,
white choc chip, whatever it is.
$2 and you get like 1,600 calories of cookie. It's fucking fantastic.
We basically turned into the carbs cast now.
Yeah. Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I've never listened to one of their episodes. I'm like,
there's an actual podcast called that.
Carbscast. Yeah. It's what Joe and Christian in England.
They just talk about like reviews of different restaurants they've been at and break down food. It's mad. I actually quite like it. Well, I think anyway, because you want something a bit lighter to listen to, not just fucking content heavy or science and all that mumbo jumbo all the time.
That's why I watch Eric's Electric Eric on YouTube.
Oh, Eric the Electric, bro. He's hard, man.
You want to make yourself like enjoy food more? Watch him eat and then feel sick, then go have your food. You're not going to feel as like eating as much. I'd watch the dude nearly spew up, and I'm like, I mean, it's the worst coping mechanism ever for hunger, but I promise you it works.
Man, a few preps ago, actually, that's actually a good point that we can segue into. Because I know a lot of bodybuilders and athletes that do that. They watch like other people eat on like the YouTube channels when they get deeper and deeper into a prep.
Yep.
Because I know I've done it before. Like I've watched
yeah.
Eric the Electric. I've watched him fucking smash heaps of food challenges. And then like the funny thing is like as soon as you eat, like this is a funny thing was as soon as the prep was over, I did not click on his channel once.
No, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Yeah. I watched fucking old mate what's his name? Shaw Strength, Brian Shaw.
Yeah, Brian Shaw as well.
Brian Shaw did the 25,000 calorie challenge in like across his day, and he was proper crook. And he made like this MRE shake mixed with like a whole packet of Oreos and a tub of peanut butter, and it was like 5,000 calories in this shake. You watch him just like glugging it across the day, and he's just like nearly sick every time he drinks it. I'm just like,
it's so whack. You kind of get off on watching them eat.
Yeah, I'm just like,
it's not healthy by any means.
No, absolutely not. And we're all encouraging eating disorders right now.
Yeah, I was going to say we do not endorse this practice.
No, I do. I absolutely do. Whatever the fuck gets you through your prep, do it. As long as you come out of the other end and know it was just a means to the end, fantastic.
Like I said, me and Ben, we never clicked on their channel again after prep was over.
Yeah, clearly it was an intermediate acute response to something, not I've developed this thing now that I'm going to do forever. Like I do it now sometimes because it's funny and just simple content, but like when I was watching it, it was purely.
I actually don't mind because I actually like food reviews sometimes because like I'm always looking for new things to like try and eat and whatever. If I have a free meal in the off season or whatever, and it's fucking good because it's like I want to know what Cinnabon tastes like. All right, was it good? Was it not good?
Yeah,
all right.
And that's the thing is like one of my goals I set with Dolt this year in my heavy growth season was like once a week I want to try something different every week, because last time I was like I did my own home cooked meals and stuff and I want to try different like eats at home. I was like this time I want to go out and try different types of sushi, different types of Asian, different types of Italian, different types of whatever.
Before people jump on the bandwagon, it's not a cheat meal. It's an allocated free meal or discretionary calories. Yes. It's not like Ben's just fucking going out and eating for an entire cheat day. He's not going to Macca's, KFC,
when you're on
Dominos.
5,000, 6,000 calories a day, you can start to figure out what you can fit in and still have room to get the rest of your meals in.
Yeah, so which is a lot.
Anyone who's eaten that amount of food for a long period of time will know it's fucking hard. And guess what? You don't even want to eat out.
No.
You don't even want to eat, but at least something tastes nice.
There was periods of time where I was just simply consuming pizza just because it was the fastest way of getting 2,000 calories in before I went to bed. That was just like, what's the fastest thing I can do to not enjoy but just consume?
Yeah, well, you're not eating for pleasure. You're eating because you have a goal in mind is to get energy in.
If you eat like 24 to 30 meals a week, it's one meal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I did the back to that getting through prep and like a hunger, I guess. I was doing that. I would absolutely like before a meal, I'd do like a 600 ml bottle of water, like have my meal and then watch them eat something or do it in reverse. And I would feel so full and my satiety would be so high for at least a couple of hours. And then I'd just be like, oh, I'm starting to feel ravenous again. Then I'd do it again. And you do that for those last few weeks of prep. And then you're just like, okay, now I'm back to normal eating food. And
it's
not
like
being,
cool. You have like 2 donuts and then you feel like sick and you don't want to eat anything else. After that.
Yep.
You're looking at Eric the Electric and he's doing like, I don't know if it's real, but he does like 100K calorie challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Over 2 or 3 days or something.
Jesus.
Like, you try to do 10,000 in one day, then wake up and have to do that for 3 more days and make that also 100,000 calories.
And his aftermath on those challenges just fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Generally glorifying a proper eating binge disorder, but you know what? I'm all for it.
Could you imagine just getting the health stats on that as well? Just like
he puts the macros and calories and stuff up.
No, but I'm saying get blood work post 10,000.
I think he's actually done that.
He does it. He does it, and he's actually pretty healthy. Like he does.
But he also doesn't eat like that all the time. Like he probably
that's what I'm saying.
Shit as well. He runs like marathons and shit too.
Yeah, it'd just be genuinely interesting to see like the body's tolerance, like a day after all that,
like the acute blood pressure.
Blood
glucose response. Blood glucose like 12.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's just so high it doesn't register.
His blood is now simply glucose for the next 24 to 48 hours.
Literally, he doesn't have blood anymore.
Some of the meals though, he does like fucking 10 fiber for like 20,000 calories. You're just like, oh, dude, passing this is going to be so painful.
Yeah, he's gonna hurt.
you think a kidney stone is going to hurt? That solid shit that's coming out of you is going to fucking bleed. That's going
to wake up the next day and he's just like, fuck.
What have I done?
But you got to admit, like, it takes mental tenacity to do. Retarded, but it takes mental tenacity to get through it.
Like everyone's each to their own, I guess, in the sense that we put ourselves through training volume. He puts himself through food volume. It's fucking impressive.
Yeah. I wonder, is this dude like a competitive eater?
He does do comps, like he times himself, but I don't think he does like
It's more
around the country challenges.
He'd make way more money on YouTube because he gets like
of course. Yeah, of course. No, I was just wondering if that was a thing as well. Like, people do competitive eating.
There are a few that do it. Yeah, I've watched, and that's another one I watch. I watch them to get sick. Like I'll see them like dunking their food in water to make it more soluble and shit. I was like, well, I don't need hot dogs anymore.
Nah, I was gonna say the hot dog one. Fuck
that just makes me
like. I genuinely love hot dogs. Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't ruin it for myself.
Don't ruin a good dog.
Nah, I fucking love hot dogs, man. Actually, did you guys even answer the question like what your favorite fast food is after all that?
After all that, I'm still gonna probably have to go with like sushi.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. But I feel like that's not fast food. I feel like when we say fast food, we mean like
we want dirty. You want dirty
or unhealthy, like what we deem unhealthy.
I would probably have to say, I really like Chinese, but like I still think I want to go with like let's go takeaway chain restaurants.
Yeah,
not just like Chinese or sushi or something like that. Yeah. I would have to say probably KFC.
Yep, right. There you go.
I like certain things from different menus as well.
I agree with you as well. Yeah,
But I think if I'm looking for just a simple meal strategy, get some calories and I'll enjoy that just feels dirty, it's just a good double loaded meat lovers pizza.
Yeah,
simple, easy to see.
If I ever get fast food, I generally cycle between KFC or Domino's.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like the other day I got Red Rooster and tracked it just because I was like, I drive past it all the time. And I'm like, no, if I give into the craving, it's purely just a craving. But like if I go past it several times and I actually want Red Rooster, and I was like, fuck it. I haven't had Red Rooster in so long. And they've got some new, like, it was like some new deep fried chicken option. Like it's like crunch, not crunch, like, crispy chicken or something like that. I got that on their flat. I was like, fucking.
You think they're underrated?
I do. They're fried.
They're chips. Yeah, their chips are the bomb. I love Red Rooster chips. But
just as like a simple, like it was like lettuce, herb mayo, chicken, and some tomato or something on there. Literally just a white bread. And I was like, yeah, cool. It's not even that bad, but really it was just like,
yeah. So I immediately think like Rooster Roll when it comes to them because that's like one of the most iconic things on their menu.
The roll and
cheesy nuggets. Cheesy nuggets. I was
going to say too. The roll and the wrap, is it like a flavor combo or flavor wrap it is that they have? It's just the same thing that
it's like the sweet chili tender or something on it.
Yeah, and it's like a sweet chili twister combo from KFC, which I don't eat KFC that often. I don't like fried chicken, to be honest. I don't like the skin. I actually don't like fried skin. I just never I like KFC, but I don't actually get actual chicken that much. Like
it's usually a burger or nuggets.
I remember I went to KFC, it would have been like 2 months ago or something like that, and I'm like, just a sweet chili twister combo. They're like, sorry, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, what? What? They're like, yeah, we don't do that. We just do a regular
twister. Me the secret menu.
I'm like, cool, can I just
make it now, bitch?
Well, I'm like, can I just do that and add sweet chili sauce? And they're like, no. Like, no, we don't do that. I'm like, what?
What do you fucking mean? I watch you make it. You just have to
you can literally change like a fillet for a zinger fillet. Why can't you do that?
Yeah,
at Hungry Jack's, you can literally customize every part of your burger. That's what they talk about. When I worked there, the whole thing was like, you can customize. You want no pickles? You want extra pickles? You want heavy?
You know what makes me want to go and give Hungry Jack's another try, Ben? Is the fact that you work there and you're still willing to eat it.
Yeah.
That makes me want to try.
And I did some shit there that you wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah, big. Just don't go to the one you work.
Just don't go anywhere near the ones I work.
Exactly, which is all of them in Queensland.
They're still recovering from that with health and safety.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's consistency in food selection. It's not like it's my favorite or it's my go-to. It's kind of like it's just easy. I get a deal from Macca's, so I can't say no.
I think I used to like getting immersed in the old school Hungry Jack's culture where they used to be, instead of being all modern now, like they used to have that roadside diner feel.
A Whopper.
And that was always feel like I was going to like some American diner when I was
That's what Pizza Hut dine-in was for me.
Bro, you said they got Five Guys now in Sydney?
No.
Bullshit.
Yeah, Five Guys has come to Sydney.
Right, so Bros with Brains is traveling to Sydney.
So I'm flying to Melbourne, going to Sydney, risking COVID, going back to Melbourne, come back.
Let me just double check that it actually did open.
Dude, you're going to get COVID either way. Yeah. Just make sure you have a negative antigen test and just keep it in your pocket. So for when you have to go home.
God damn it.
Yeah, we're good. Five Guys is now open in Sydney. It's in Penrith.
Oh, yes. I got family in Penrith. Looks like I'm coming down for a trip to see you.
I'm going to see family.
Look at that.
Bro, I want to scope it out so bad. All you ever see is bodybuilders talk about like their double bacon cheeseburgers and shit. And they're just like, Oh man.
Yeah.
What I wonder though is because the ingredients are like different over here. I wonder if the burgers will be shit.
Well, I was going to say, I imagine the
Are they
patties and all that will
importing?
be different. Well, I doubt it. Like, I feel like that'd be way
I want
too much.
bison or something imported.
I want a bison patty.
I want a bison.
No, he doesn't want a bison patty. He wants a bison.
I want a bison.
Well, what's the import tax?
He's going to put it in his apartment in the spare bedroom.
In the spare bedroom with my fucking shit internet.
Okay, Chris, I got another question for you then. In prep, what's your favorite meal to look forward to?
Cream of
Heavy
rice.
diet phase?
It's good. I was going to say, even I could have
Cream of
answered that. I could have answered that for him.
Man, I just love cream of rice. Like I eat it twice a day. I look forward to it. Like most of my carbs, to be perfectly honest with you, come in cream of rice.
Nice.
So I have like 90 grams in the AM, and then pre-bed I'll have 80 grams. That's probably like,
over
200 grams of my fucking 300 grams of carbs a day.
Over half your carb consumption.
Not worried
for
about
the day.
spacing it out with like spud light potato or anything. It's just like, nah, just give me cream of rice.
No, cream of rice. I do still have potato, but I actually like potato. But cream of rice is like, I look forward to that. It's got a bit of peanut butter, dark chocolate. And then fruit. It's everything you could need. Even in the off season, I look forward to it as well. Oh yeah, I add protein in as well.
Yeah.
You've got to, though, if you do make the cream of rice in Australia here, the key component is don't use a WPI because it will not mix properly. It needs to be a blend.
Yeah.
So either use like a Rule 1 blend or protein matrix and bulk nutrients, and it'll be spot on.
Yeah, right. I still haven't had it.
What about you, Ben? What's your?
Oh God, I really love making loaded fries with like chicken, crunchy salad mix from Coles, and then getting like the excuse me, like diced up air fried spud light potato, like seasoning the shit out of that. A little bit of like Gravox and some barbecue sauce, and you just like it just makes this big bowl of like loaded fries. It feels greasy than it is. It feels dirty than it is, and it's filling as fuck. And it's just
I've established you're really a fry man, aren't you? Everywhere you go, it's like you base the whole establishment on how good are the fries.
If I have to go elsewhere to get chips, I ain't coming back.
Yeah, but it's like when you go to a new pub and you're not dieting down, right? It's like the first meal you're going to get to Parma and you're going to see
I don't get that. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't get a Parma. I don't do Parma.
You guys are
I'm a steak man. I will get.
No, I love steak. Yeah, I'm the same. I love steak as well, but it's kind of like usually that's a bit more expensive. So it's like if you're going to a new pub you've never been in before, and like you always want to go with the safe bet, or what you think would be the safe bet, and probably a steak or a Parma are the two things that are safe. So for me, it's always like I'm just going to get the Parma and just see if it's any good. And if it's a shit Parma, it's kind of like, well, everything else on this menu right now,
I won't be back
shit.
here.
Yeah.
If you can't get the basics right, fuck your mouth.
I've had one thing off your menu. I know the rest of your menu is shit. But give me a beer because I'm sure you can't get that wrong.
all neck, all froth.
Yeah, can you imagine?
It's completely
50-50 ratio.
50-50 ratio. Of
not even that. You ask for a beer that's in a bottle and they still fuck it up. You're like, how?
Cracks the top. You're drinking from shattered glass.
It's like a machete to open up the beer. Just flings the neck.
Oh, fuck me.
Anyway.
Any pubs listening if we're looking for sponsorship?
Yeah, always. Macca's, Five Guys, KFC, whatever it is.
Anything that you guys think we should be sponsored by, just start tagging us in their shit.
And
be like, hey guys, sponsor these guys. They eat well, they train hard, they're healthy.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. The last two are debatable.
Yeah, most of the time. It's always well. Yeah. Well, when people freak out and they're like, oh, like, you actually eat that? I'm like, yeah, man. Like,
I love that scenario. It honestly gets me off.
Yeah, it's
when I tell people or clients or potential clients or just like interactive like followers, whatever, that there's periods of my life where I'll do like 6,000 calories, and they're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I'm like.
Yeah,
like you do that
look at that and they're like, "Oh, that would be amazing." It's like, bro, it is not amazing. I can tell you.
Yeah. Force feeding is not fun.
It is the opposite of amazing.
You stop enjoying that after week 2.
Yeah. And so you tell people like, I have to eat 3 donuts. Why? Because I have to get my calories in.
Yeah.
That must be really cool. I'm like, do it for a week and let me know how you go.
I will say
the novelty
one thing
and
that I'm looking forward to post comp, and this is even in the off season that I love so much. I'm a massive cheesecake connoisseur.
I picked up on this. Yeah.
I'm a massive cheesecake connoisseur. So I'm already going to have like a massive, after I come off stage at FitFest, I told my girlfriend I wanted to get me just an Oreo cheesecake.
Yep. Simple.
From down the road.
Oh yeah,
I'm
nice.
gonna have that. So.
You just,
Nice.
you see this Jack dude coming in and walking down the road with a bowl of fucking cheesecake.
He hasn't put his clothes.
Don't look.
Novelty
Don't
spoons.
ask questions.
He hasn't put his clothes back on either. He's just walking in his trunks.
It's like that episode that when Generation I when Arnie's walking through New York City in his posing trunks to bring his bodybuilding. Chris isn't trying to do that. He's just so rushed with his
He
cheesecake.
just wants his cheesecake. He forgot to put clothes on.
Yeah. Granny,
The whole
Granny
experience around it needs to be right though too. So I wouldn't eat it in the street. I would have to wait until I'm in a position where I can sit down, I have everything correct. Because it's not just about the food; it's about
it's enjoying the environment.
As a whole.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm
Like,
the
you
same.
know what pisses me off? People that get fast food, say for example, they got a burger from KFC, and they stand out the front and eat it.
Yeah.
Bro,
Fucking
go
hate that.
home, sit down,
Yeah.
Yes.
enjoy it.
Or if you're like at KFC, sit inside KFC.
Sit inside. Like, what are you doing?
There's
you know?
tables there for a
Those
reason.
people that are like
Fuck
shame
me.
eating or like sit in their car and eat. I'm like, go like for me, if I'm getting a meal, I'm planning around how long does it take me to get home? How long does it take me to spread out and like set up? I've got my movie already selected before
Yeah,
I
you
go
got
and
to
get my
select the
food.
movie before
Oh, yeah,
you go.
100%.
I'm not playing
100%.
selection
Yeah.
before I get my food. Fuck that. I'm not eating.
Otherwise, you're
cold
waiting there.
chicken.
It's gone cold, and you're trying.
Yeah.
to
See, this
pick
is the
something to watch
bit.
on
See,
Netflix.
I've got this down to a fine art. This is how you combat. You know, when you're looking for a movie and it takes you like half an hour and your food's gone cold, we're going to avoid that. You're going to pick a series that you like to watch, and you're going to watch one episode, and you only ever watch this show when you plan your food to eat. So it's like
That's
you
fair.
sit down and eat. You're like, series. I've been watching this. I'm up to season 3, episode 4. Beautiful. Play.
How many
Start
times do you
eating.
eat takeout?
Hey, no, this is food. This is all food. This is at home, like cooked meals, takeout, whatever it is. Have 3 different shows running, and it's just whatever series I want to watch. It's like Sopranos, Billions at the moment, and one that's on binge, a new, I can't remember the name of it, some fantasy. So I'm just like, cool. I can pick one of these episodes. I don't have to think. I don't have decision fatigue. Put it on, and I'm eating. I'm good.
You don't want
And
anything to wreck that experience.
Exactly. And then I can pick my movie after that, and I'm
But
done.
it just makes
Beautiful.
the immersion of the food good. Like part of the thing of looking forward to your cheat meal, quotation marks, your takeout makeup calories, is that you're just going to sit home, relax like a slob and feel like a gross, disgusting pig and just immerse yourself in it. And I'm having 3,000 calories in one sitting. Fuck yeah. And that's it. But like these people that sit in their car and like hide eat and shit,
fucking
like
cry after it.
cry. Yeah. Oh, when I used to work, one of the NWs I used to work at was right opposite of Macca's, and we didn't have a bathroom in our store. So I'd just go steal theirs. And every time I walk over, like it'd be 3 o'clock in the arvo, and there'd just be like that shame mum that's like on the way to picking up her kids, getting in that last cheeseburger before the kids get
Bro,
in the car.
what sort of establishment doesn't have a fucking bathroom? In
I was
it?
going to say the same. Is that even legal now?
What the fuck?
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you have to have
There's
that.
sale days. There was sale days where there was filled water bottles out back, and they weren't from water because there was just nowhere to go to the bathroom.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
Hey.
right.
Gold.
Health.
It's like we won't get into
What were you
that.
saying? That was
Why
shaming
are
in
you
the car.
more committed to your job, Ben? Well, give me a fucking bathroom, and I will be.
Yeah, let me take a piss.
They were shaming to get in their car as you were
Yeah,
walking
like you
over?
just walk past and just see them like scoffing down to like 2:30, 2:45 because there's a school nearby, and you've got like
Fitness Pal doesn't have.
yeah, you've got mama that's just like scoffing down her last meal, and then like off she goes to pick up the kids in her SUV, and it's like obviously didn't want the kids to see her eating Macca's or like have to buy the Macca's, but it's just and it would be repeat offenders. I'm like, that's got to be bad. we got to address this.
Eat it with
Yeah.
no one around. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
If no one can see, it didn't happen. But yes, I mean, that was an interesting rant on food.
I think that was a
We're
good segue.
passionate food connoisseurs. When you learn to starve and diet and like reduce your calorie intake, you appreciate food more. I say this to people all the time that like badmouth bodybuilding, like you guys are fucking egotistical, blah blah. One of the benefits out of bodybuilding is you take
Eat more food.
appreciation of like the novelties of life, and that includes food.
It's like, bro, I get one fucking discretionary free meal a week in the off season usually, or sometimes 2. Dean will give me, and I want to make sure it's fucking good. I'm not going to waste it, you know.
And even the food you do get, like you have to find ways to make the same monotonous food spice up, taste good, have flavor, be cooked right. If you got like 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 calories and you got to like do that with shitty tasting food, fucking good luck.
That's fair. The question is, when you come down on the weekend, where are we going to eat? Because Chris is dieting.
Yeah. Well,
Okami would have been good.
I was literally thinking Okami, and I'm thinking in my head, I wonder if you were just to eat like sashimi the entire time.
Nelly
I
suggested
could
some
just have
steak
Coke Zero.
joint. She said there's some steak joints.
There's heaps of steak joints. I'll ask her. I'll ask her. I'm sure she'll be able to tell me which one she recommended. But yeah,
One of the best places that I went was Danny's Donuts when I was after comp. That could have just been because I was after comp, but they did.
No, I was going to say they're not
Daniel's
bad.
Donuts.
Daniel's Donuts. I say they're not bad, but there's better.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't mind them. They're just nice fluffy ones compared to like up here where they're just like heavy dough donuts.
Bro, there's a place in South Melbourne called That's a Lot of Donuts.
Yeah, there's a few of those around.
They're good, man. They're not because they're very much like they're not filled with tons of shit.
It's just enough.
Yeah, it's just enough.
Yeah, just enough is always good.
It's a good blend.
They're actually kind of like a cross between Daniel's Donuts and I don't even know what you'd cross them with because Krispy Kreme's kind of just their own thing.
Yeah. I love Krispy Kreme still. I get
kind of
consistency.
their own thing,
Yeah. Anyway, we'll work it out. What we
maybe
can
Daniel's Donuts crossed with like Donut King.
That's fair. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
I would test them out.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things to test that we can eat while we're in our growth phases, and Chris can sit there and watch and basically cry.
Just sit there jerking off while we're eating food, just like, tell me how it tastes.
I know it's still good.
Describe it to me.
Yeah, give me every intimate detail.
Some people in prep become like
what's the texture like?
You use feeders like when you're dieting, like you feed other people, like you're a feeder, as in like you feed other people food. And like you'll watch them eat and kind of enjoy it.
One of my exes when I was dieting was a feeder in the sense that she would wait till I would diet to start doing like nice tasting foods to fuck up my prep because she wanted to get me lean. But I mean, that's not neither here nor there of toxic females, but whatever. We won't go into that. But more so, that was my definition of a feeder.
Yeah, I'm like I haven't dieted down obviously to your extreme, so I can't really comment on that. But when I diet down, I'm pretty straightforward. Honestly, my dieting down, it's like I like to go hard, so it's just like I won't eat. I'll just have like 1 to 2 meals a day.
No, bro, that's dangerous. Don't do that.
Oh, fuck that. I was just I'd rather do that. Wash everything out, get it done, get off, and just fucking start eating food. It's like it's much easier. But I'm
notoriously bad for leaving probably 2 meals too late at night.
You see, I back end all my food anyway. It's like I don't eat much during the day. And it's not it's literally from an appetite thing almost. It's kind of like my appetite's not really there that heavy during the day. So it's like even if I wake up super early, it's like it's the same thing. It's like I'll eat, a small breakfast, whatever it is, usually go train. And then after that, it's like, I'm one of those guys that can't eat after training. Like for a good solid hour, like if I have a real hard training session, I can't eat. I'd have no appetite. And then by the time, you eat and you're working and all that sort of stuff, it's like, it's 5 o'clock. And you're like, fuck, it's dinner time. And then you got like 3,000 calories to eat by bed. And you're like, all right, challenge accepted.
Double cheeseburger.
Let's do this.
Large frozen cake.
Pretty much.
My first meal is a cream of rice, but I only have that at like 9 because we train at like 10:30. So that allows me to get some sort of carbohydrate in pre-training. But otherwise, I could go fucking hours without eating.
Yeah.
But at night, that's when I really do get hungry.
Hungry,
6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
That's when I get really hungry.
I hard practice intermittent fasting, not as I'm resetting my insulin and getting this cognitive benefit.
It's like a version of intermittent fasting.
Yeah, it's a version where I'm doing it purely for the fact that I'm backloading food and holding my eating window. So I get
because it increases autophagy.
Yeah, and all the other spirituality awakeness that I get from it. When we go through aggressive cut phases,
it aligns your chakras.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, open those gates. I'm now Naruto. I'll do like 11, 12, 1 o'clock if I can and like wait as long as possible, especially when I was working in W and I'd train at 5:30. So I'm only getting 2 meals before I train and then that food's in there. It might only be 2,000 calories or something like that. If I'm doing an aggressive cut, make those calories wait until at least closer to training so I'm not fucking hungry.
Yeah,
it works.
Literally the same. I'll eat it in a deficit. I'll just eat all my food.
Have you ever done the nicotine trick, Chris?
No, I haven't needed it yet. I've got that up the sleeve if I need it.
Sleeve, yeah. I love it. I hate it, but I love it because it works. It works so good.
Nicotine's
I don't want to say it because it's like people don't take it as like a medical advice.
Don't do that though. Yeah,
people don't do it unless you're actually like.
Yeah, we're gonna start like playing with this like show and being like, this is not medical advice. Do not take anything that we say seriously.
Entertainment content only.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes.
Since we're speaking on food, because it's been happening at my gym, and I don't know how many are going to listen to this, but honestly, I don't care because it fucking drives me and Tom mad.
Okay.
Pre-workout nutrition, what's your go-to meal? And not for like what your go-to cheat meal, but more so like there's guys currently at the gym, and I get the calories in versus out thing, but we are of two minds here. they're eating high amounts of like Gomez as they get to the gym, because like it's just literally across the way from where we're training.
Fair enough.
And so they're eating that and going straight into training. Mind you, aware of the, I guess, ovulation that they aren't even training to intensity that really affects their performance, but trying to consume like massive burritos before training and trying to digest that while you're trying to hit lifts and like actually training.
You're just clearly not training hard enough.
You're just not training hard enough.
Yeah,
right?
When we come up at some point, we'll tell them just like, eat that. Now come train with us and let's see how you go. I give you 2 warm-up sets before you show up.
My go-to is always cream of rice.
Yeah.
And I usually have that meal an hour and a half, probably an hour before we actually train.
Yeah.
Mine's at least has some time to digest and assimilate.
Yeah. Mine's 2 Nutella sandwiches and a coffee. Then a double espresso. Always. It's without fail.
I don't mind, especially if I'm going through like a heavy food phase, I might do something more like cereal based, but like I like starting my morning, I'll have, regardless of the season now, depending on my calories, obviously the cuts I'll change, but I'll go like oats, some protein and some fruit in there. But I'll have that like, I might have that at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I might not train until 8:39, or, if I'm maybe 8:30 will probably be the latest. But I just find it filling enough to get me through the training, but not heavy and gross. But because I'm training in the morning, I've got food from the night before anyway. But like I enjoy it. Like I know people sort of like don't like the digestion of oats or whatever before they train, but it's a simple meal. It's easy to get down, tastes good, and a little bit of fruit in there as well. It just passes eventually, but it's not heavy on my stomach.
Yeah, I think oats are a great pre-workout meal, especially if you combine it with like a fructose component like fruit as well. But I also think that if you're making use of any sort of pre-workout supplementation or caffeine, like you can kind of blunt the response if you're literally fucking whacking a monster and at the same time eating a burrito. You know, like you'd be better off finishing that burrito an hour and a half before your session, having a coffee or some sort of pre-workout if you're going to make use of caffeine, and at least allow that to, I suppose, digest as well. Otherwise you're just fucking going to be burping up Guzman Gomez and fucking,
imagine that mixture of like a poor amount of fiber, high amounts of like very high amounts of saturated fats, a large dump of like carbohydrates and some protein. It's gonna be a very slow digesting meal that just isn't getting processed before you get to like under a squat or fucking like, especially if you're doing something heavy where you're wearing a belt. Imagine trying to wrap your gut around that and then being I'm going to brace properly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like guys that manage to eat that much food, not guys, I mean people in general, manage to eat so much food before they train. It's just like, you are not training hard enough. Yeah. Like it's evident. And honestly, I used to be the same. It's like the joke would be in powerlifting. It's like, intra-set or intra-workout.
Intra-set donuts.
It would be eating donuts and
on each finger.
Yeah. And it's like, you're
Homer with a donut machine in hell.
But it's like, we know like notoriously like powerlifters, especially in their main exercises, because they're just so much rest period because of the intensity of their training, the intensity of that set being quite hard because, especially if they're peaking for a comp, like there's so much rest time in between. It's like, you can eat food because you're not doing much and you're not doing much actual work anyway. You're doing 1 rep, 2 reps. It's like, it's not hard. Do that for 10 and let me know how you feel, because you only
do 10 with a controlled rest break of no more than like 2 minutes.
Yeah. The only, I think, food that I used to have during my workouts would be some lollies. And that was only because if I was running insulin, I didn't want to die.
Yeah, exactly. I see they're talking like, I'll see them there and they're talking about like eating like rice cakes intra workout and stuff, but it's like, they're like, brown rice cakes or whatever like that. And I'm like,
it's like, got to have Guzman Gomez, but you got to have the brown.
I don't mind the rice cakes in between workout during workout versus the Guzman and Gomez.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the better of 2 choices that are already lesser choices.
Like the old days, like salt and vinegar peckish, like in between workouts. Man, that was great. Those are the days.
I just prefer snakes, easy on the stomach. It's just simple. It's just in.
See, I even prefer to go one better. I will never have carbohydrates as solid forms. I'll always go with
as liquid. Yeah, that's why I have the Gatorades and stuff now. Anyway, during my workout, it's so much easier.
Like, will you add like a multidextrin or just have a Gatorade?
I usually have Staminate.
Oh yeah, I'm the same, Gatorade or Gatorade powder.
Yeah.
Yeah, just easy. Or cordial, depending on how I'm feeling. Depends what's on special.
Is actually good too.
It depends what's on special at Coles for that week. Cordial or Gatorade Staminate powder. I'll buy whichever one.
Dextrin doesn't agree with my stomach that well.
That's fair. I found
other things like Targo and shit like that as well.
Yeah,
a lot of customers had that like complaint. It was either worked really well or it just upset their guts too much.
I just haven't found the need for it. It's kind of like, the amount of carbohydrates.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, the amount of carbohydrates. I was going to say, the amount of carbohydrates you get for it, you can get from a sports drink that's cheaper. It's just get the sports drink.
There was some I think it was like Redcon 1 had like their, I know, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called. But it was like $80 for like 28 serves of a molten cyclic and dextrin mix. And it was like maybe 25, 30 grams of carbs per serve. I was like, what the fuck are you paying?
600 ml Gatorade is like 28 grams of carbs.
What are you paying for this?
Yeah.
Paying for the name.
Literally, yeah.
You could literally buy a bottle of Coke.
Kai Green uses it.
Drink that. Does the same thing.
No, but Kai Green doesn't drink Coke in between his sessions.
No,
Jay Cutler did, though.
He takes Coke between sessions. There's a difference.
Jay Cutler did.
Yeah, but there you go. Like, there's a genuine reason for it. And it's also got caffeine. So
David Goggins talked about, like, after he does like his ultra marathons, like, I would see guys that would be at the end of their thing, and I'm like, here's this guy trying to be health conscious and like only do like water and brown and fucking rice, whatever.
Yeah.
And the end of these ultra marathons, there's dudes smash down like a liter of Coke and like 2 Snickers bars. Like,
heaps of endurance sports. That's what they have post, event when they take down bottles of Coke, because it's just what's in it. It's just being able to replace a whole stack of different parts of your fluid, right? So,
nah, bro, it's toxic. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
We should only consume water.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Let me know how you go.
I had an argument with a guy on one of Dalton's posts. It was like talking about like behavior change, right? Like we're talking about like what food choices can we make? Like since we're on the topic of food, what are the minuscule changes we can make? Like lowest hanging fruit or smallest possible stone that we can make to get you to make behavior changes that will actually make imprint on your like weight loss or calorie intake, yada, yada. And one of the first suggestions I do with people is go to like, okay, you like drinking 4 liters of Pepsi Max? Pepsi. Let's do 4 liters of Pepsi Max instead. Let's start there. And if it's like, it might be fucking, I like drowning my food in sauce. Okay, cool. Let's drown it in diet sauce. Yeah. And this guy commented on there about like, and he's a well-known guy, so I won't throw a name too much, but
it's not fun. Where's the post? I'll find it.
Literally his argument was, no. And mind you, he's a supplement user. That soft drink was toxic to the body, and we're only designed to consume water.
Dude, they're always the ones, aren't they?
There's always.
I could not stop laughing at it. I'm just like, oh, bruh.
This is a while back.
Yeah, I was gonna
say that's when it's not even worth your time arguing.
I wouldn't put that toxic shit in my body.
It's like, all right, put Tren in it, yeah, as I put Tren in instead. Good luck.
Tren made from someone's bathtub.
All right, Liver King.
At our choices, Pepsi Max is the least of our concerns.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Probably a better health choice for most people anyway. Like what's his name? Oh, Joe Rogan said, not always the most wise nutritionist, but if you're eating 10 pieces a day, let's start with 9.
Yeah.
If you're doing 4 liters of Pepsi, let's do Pepsi Max.
Yeah. What small changes can you make to make it a little bit better? But that's fair.
I like that. Lowest hanging fruit. Very good.
Simples. Who would have thought simple works?
Nah, just water, bro. not even diet right. Can't do diet right. That's aspartame and fucking.
Actually, I love diet right. That's probably my favorite.
Sweeteners.
It's my favorite. In the off season, it's probably my favorite.
Here's a diet trick for anyone who's in prep. Spare the 6 calories. Put diet right in the water. Freeze it. You got something to eat.
There you go. Spoken from the man himself. Should we do some questions?
Yeah, we really rambled on food there, didn't we?
Yeah, that went.
I just thought we'd start. I didn't expect it to go that way.
that went way longer.
Clearly, we pre-plan these conversations.
Yeah, right.
That's why it's always best when we just don't pre-plan it and we just roll.
Well, yeah. I mean, we had a potential talking topic, and it's kind of like, whoops.
It was too serious for us today.
Sorry, bro.
I'm sure you'll answer it to some degree.
We will answer it, but it's just like, I'm sorry. I tried, but it didn't work.
Unfortunately, we shot it down.
Yeah, unfortunately, Macca's took over, and that was it. Game over.
That was your fault.
Gaff had his cheeseburger erection.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I was hungry. Shut up. So, question: training for older people. Not much info around on it.
Do you say older people or older people?
Older.
Are we talking like how old are we talking? Are we talking like preventing sarcopenia or?
Let's say 50 plus.
Okay.
We'll just know that bar.
We'll say it just says training for older people. Not much info around it. On it.
I think it probably should. It's probably wise to prevent osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, or even potentially negate them to some degree.
Even more basic than that, just to keep functionality into old age. Like there's this weird connotation you should age gracefully, like just accept you're going to get old. But you see,
Dude, what happens to a car when you stop driving?
Exactly. Yeah. Engine shuts down, battery turns off, it dies, it drains, like the oil becomes stagnant.
No one's saying you need to fucking train at an RPE 10 every set, but you should probably weight train a couple times a week.
Get under some movement. Like
get under some weight. You don't
need to become chair bound by the time you're 70 just because like some douchebag on YouTube said, oh, it's bad for the bones or it'll make you brittle and your hips can't handle it. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, it's also very, very good for quality of life and still keeping a decent quality of life into your older age. But
I think that's the part that gets missed is like people think when we talk about training, it has to be to a purpose or like periodization or to achieve a physique appearance or a lift number. But just lifting in and around the self of just lifting, the body is designed to function that way and like have resistance and stresses and overload it.
Yeah.
Why get stagnant and rolled?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I guess, making sure that we understand the intensity that's required at certain points in time of your training will be varied. So we can do this thing where we call auto regulation. So when you feel good in the gym, you feel free to push, provided it's safe. And when you don't feel well or feel like you can push, then you need to understand that that's okay. And you don't need to push everything all the time. Unlike us who train like spastics and just try to.
But in saying that, we're also quite young,
and we also have a different goal.
We have a different goal. When we're in our 50s, we'll auto-regulate a lot more. We probably won't be training with the same proximities to failure, with the same level of risk. It'll be more so shifting our focus towards, just preventing sarcopenia and muscle wasting as we get older. And just continuing to live a long, happy life, I suppose.
But also, like if you're 50, go see your doctor and get like, you have a very high chance you're going to be like in the criterion for TRT. And especially given our decline in age and test production around 30 to fucking 40, you're probably going to get more jacked. Like go in there and recomp your body because you're going to get some like great medical advice from your doctor and pretty much change your life.
Basically time to get swole. What else we got? Let's go something funny. Fuck, marry, kill. Clint Eastwood, Wesley Snipes, Denzel Washington.
Man, Denzel's
my man. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Yeah,
great movie.
I'd marry Denzel just because he's Denzel.
Yeah, I'm marrying Denzel. He's
you have
to, man.
Yeah, he's like
every time I picture Denzel, I think he's like, Blue, we're gonna do up downs until he's no longer thirsty.
You know what else? I'm gonna fuck Clint Eastwood because I think if I try and kill him, he'll kill me.
Yeah, but see, Wesley Snipes is a badass too in that aspect.
Nah, fuck Wesley Snipes.
Man, you're not giving him proper respect.
He does deserve props. He's pretty good.
I'm giving him no props.
He's pretty fucking good.
Wesley Snipes is a martial
Even
artist,
outside of Expendables, he's pretty fucking good.
Think of all the movies. Blade, really, Blade, you want to try and kill Blade.
But he's not really Blade.
But he really
isn't
is
he?
Blade.
Well, he hasn't aged a day.
He is a badass.
Still watch the movie.
I would probably try and kill Clint Eastwood. And
I think you're going to be fighting a losing battle.
I feel like I'd have
he's no Chuck Norris.
I was going to say, I feel like I'd have a better chance at killing Clint Eastwood.
Well, maybe now because he's how old?
Regardless.
85.
I'm being logical here. I don't give a fuck how old he is. I'm just thinking I have a better chance.
Beat an old ass man.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how old would Wesley Snipes be now? He must be getting up there.
60s, I think. 50s, 60s?
60s?
Yeah, he'd be old, but...
You're probably better off trying to take on Clint Eastwood. He's older.
Yeah, I agree.
You old.
Old ass.
He older than old.
Old ass motherfucker.
What have we got? Let's do another fuck, marry, kill because this is going to be fun for all of us. All three Spider-Man actors.
Ooh, I like that.
That's good, man. That's good.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, look, I'm going to marry Tom Holland because I feel like he's the best
He's
Spider-Man.
a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's the best. He's by far the best Spider-Man.
I respectfully disagree.
You can respectfully disagree on these nuts.
I believe the OG.
No, Chris is no longer part of the podcast.
I believe the OG is the best Spider-Man. I don't believe Tom Holland.
Toby?
No chance. I'm killing fucking Toby. I'm killing him. He's gone.
I like Tobey Maguire in this movie, but
yeah, exactly.
He plays old retired because like following the comic line, he does play a nice washed up Toby that's trying to like make amends with the fact that he sucked and threw in the towel and wants to like be a mentor. But original 2001 Spider-Man.
He played the same Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And that was good. I like
that's exactly who he was.
Yes.
So it's
He's
like,
the
yes.
OG
a
for
lot.
me. He's
But-
still the OG.
Yeah,
Seeing that dude-
One of my favorite
Spider-Man.
all-time movie scenes is him walking down the street doing these
fucking
ones.
hate you.
I love
Say
that
that.
movie scene, bro. It's so good. It's
Seeing
fucking
him ruin
hilarious.
Spider-Man and Black Suit Spider-Man,
Hilarious.
it almost threw me off comics forever.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so
I'm
I'm marrying.
killing Andrew Garfield.
I say I'd be marrying Garfield. I actually liked him as Spider-Man just
I
because
actually do too.
he
but-
came.
He did a nice, amazing Spider-Man.
Considering he came from Tobey Maguire, so it's like, thank fuck, he gave us
Yeah.
the Spider-Man we deserved.
He's that middle ground. You have the recency bias or the primer bias.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah,
middle
yeah.
ground, like just kind of got forgot about. But he does a nice.
He was a good Spider. He was a good
I think he was
Spider-Man.
unlucky not to get a third.
Yeah, well, hopefully
Yeah.
have you
It's
seen
because
that
they had that contract dispute with Sony where they started shifting towards like let's include
Marvel?
them,
Yeah,
but they didn't want to make Sony's world a part of Marvel's world, so they had to make a different one.
yeah.
And now they did.
Yeah, and well, now they're looking to make a third one. Or they're potentially going to make a third one anyway.
Apparently, Mobius is now the reason it took so long is because Andrew Garfield is going to make it a cameo.
Yeah, a cameo. Yeah, I saw that, which I'm keen for.
I'm happy with that if they do that.
Yes. Who are you going with, Ben? I think we've established myself and Chris.
Yeah, I'm marrying Holland just because he's a big old sweetheart. There's nothing I don't watch where seeing him doesn't make me happy. Like,
Yeah, fair. I mean, there is a horror movie with him in
I was
it.
gonna say, have you seen his horror movie? That he
Yeah,
does?
I mean, in
it's
terms
good.
of
It's a good
Spider-Man.
movie. Yeah, fair
but
enough.
I'm really
It's a
keen for
weird role
Uncharted.
for him, man.
I
Yeah,
am
but it
keen for
works.
Uncharted.
I feel like it works. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna just purely based on the fact that Toby did Black Suit Spider-Man. I'm gonna kill Toby,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna
Yeah, I
fucking
love that he did Black Suit Spider-Man. It's fucking gold.
just like the Bee Gees walking down the street, like
Yeah.
Man, it's so good. You've just got to take it for what it is. It's fucking hilarious.
terrible, cringy as fuck.
It's
Yeah.
so
Venom
good. That's
is
why I love
cringy.
it so much. It's so good.
Black Suit
Yeah.
Spider-Man's a badass. You just got him doing fucking pistol guns down the street and
Oh,
like
it's so
the
good.
fucking
And
rumble
he
out the
walks
front
into
of the
the
bank.
fucking bar and he starts making out with the other chick in front of MJ.
Oh, yeah.
Boston thing I've ever seen. So good.
Poor Gwen Stacy in that movie gets treated like shit.
Oh, she actually does. She really does.
Anyway, moving along, since we've created a controversial topic there. Let's see.
Apparently, Spider-Man's a trigger for all of us.
I think, should we go funny again? Let's go funny again because we got a few serious ones as well.
All right.
Would you rather eat dry toast for every meal or put a stick of butter on every meal you would normally eat?
Because I don't mind dry toast, so I'll eat the toast.
Yeah, I
every
could
day.
do toast. Toast reminds me of my childhood. So I'd just
Well,
like,
way too much fat, bro. I'm getting way too fat on that.
I was going to say, so every meal is dry toast.
That's fine.
Breakfast,
Yeah,
lunch, and
but-
dinner.
Bro, I'm going to be
Yes.
a carbohydrate
Stick of-
machine.
I'm just thinking, I'm just
And
trying
you're
to
going to
make
be
sure,
a fat piece of shit.
I'm
yeah.
just trying to make sure
You're going to bleed pure cholesterol at that point.
Stick of fucking
Hey,
butter.
it's like you've never heard of the keto diet. Stop. Does that mean I have to put a stick of butter in my coffee?
I was about to say,
You got to bulletproof that coffee, bro.
Bulletproof coffee.
as long as you take keto switch and you get your raspberry ketones, you're okay.
Keen. I mean, I'm
Good
doing that. Then.
ketosis.
I'm doing that. I'm putting butter on everything.
Oh, that's fucked up. Fuck
Something
butter.
different.
Yeah.
Something
I'm not
different.
even a butter fan.
I don't
I'm not
even
even a butter fan to begin with, let alone
Yeah,
stick
well,
with it.
fuck you both. I'm changing it. Whatever. I'll do what I
As
want.
long as if I can put some jam or peanut butter on my toast, done.
But you can't. You're having dry toast.
I'll slap
Peanut
the
butter's
dry.
dry. Peanut butter's
You're
dry.
having it, bro. The question is dry. You don't
Dry
have anything
toast
on it.
all
Dry
day.
toast.
I actually
Yeah,
don't mind.
And
just
for
toast.
you, it's burnt toast because fuck you.
I don't mind dry toast. It's good.
All right, let's see. What else we got? What's the biggest change you hope to see happening in the fitness industry?
You know what I would actually like? Some regulation in the fucking online coaching space.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's not going to happen.
Death
I mean,
to influence.
I like that you want that, but that won't happen. So let's make it something more realistic. Let's get you a unicorn.
Influencers stop peddling shit. That's about as much as.
Who are we going to go through for that regulation?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Who's already trying?
yeah, and it's not going to work. Let's be real. But I mean, that's fair. You'd like to see a more regulated space. That's understandable. How about you, Ben? What do you got?
I would like to see more appreciation for, I guess, behavioral sciences in their application within the industry, because I'm sick and tired of seeing a shitty practicing coach blaming a shitty client and then the shitty client blaming the shitty coach, but neither of them are understanding actual like behavioral reasoning, like why someone has this underlying system.
I was going to say both of them don't understand. They're both shitty. No.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a common thing. Like that client simply wasn't ready to change, and that coach simply wasn't ready to motivate and understand a client enough to make those changes. It's easy when a client lands on your lap that's like, hey man, I'm ready to train 5 days a week. I've got this much money. I want to buy these months up. So I want to do this diet. And you're like, sweet, that's an easy sale. But when you've got a client, you've actually got to like foster motivation and get them to understand what they're trying to achieve and do and how to go about it. It's obviously a different call. And there's some coaches just aren't equipped for that. And then they'll say they are. And then it's like the coach loses the client has a shitty experience, and then the coach will say, oh, it was a shitty client. No, you're just
a shitty coach.
Basically, you're saying you want regulation as well at
Yes. So basically everyone's thinking the same thing. I think for me, it'd be more so having the let's say the more popular minds on social media, on Instagram and stuff, actually coming together to collaborate and actually better the industry instead of saying that their methods are better than their methods and their methods suck. It's like, okay, cool. Let's look at all the positives and negatives of everything and come together and create something to better the industry.
Well, that brings me to an interesting point. I would like more followers and more recognition for people that actually have a decent education and put out good content than, someone following some fucking influencer's got 1 million followers because she shows photos of her ass.
Yeah. So it'd be almost like, would Instagram please just push those that are educated? Yes.
It's almost like we should make a social media platform for the purpose of education and information, as opposed to enter infotainment. That is just pure. I wouldn't even say it info really. It's just, here's a chick with a repeated like copy and paste Google search on calorie deficit and my ass.
Or we start showing our asses more.
I mean, it is pretty plump, and I haven't worked on it, so
there is always an alternative.
I have been told I need to go get a HR license because we got a dump truck.
You're so white, you can't say that. All right.
Nice at the moment. Thank you very much.
What's the biggest change you three hope to make to the industry in Oz? I know I want to leave a better quality coach or coaching behind. So with my mentorship, help create better coaches that achieve outcomes with their clients, whether that be, an actual physique outcome, strength outcome, or even just a simple lifestyle change and, bettering someone else's lifestyle, making their life just that little bit better.
Yeah, I think mine's much the same down that route, but I also, I suppose upskilling of the industry, upskilling of younger coaches so they have access to, better information and actually want to actually learn, as opposed to, I suppose falling into something and you're not really being equipped for what they're doing, like a lot of online coaches are these days. But then also too, from an individual perspective, I want to put more people on stage that are just inside out peeled in very, very good conditioning.
Fair. I think with Matter, in amongst the industry, but also outside of it, I really want to start fostering more people that want to get after it. So regardless of what it is, I think there's been a very comfortable period of life and it's led to a lot of soft people. And I think it's become almost like taboo or ridiculed to say you want something more extreme than say the next person has, because fucking advantages and privilege bullshit. I see and want Matter in the courses we're designing and what we're trying to do to get people to elevate to a new level and see that it is perfectly acceptable and reasonable to want more for yourself. And then in that, it could be the fact that you're coaching better, you're providing better services, you're learning more, you're just doing everything all around better because you've gone through our program and our system, whether that be in business, coaching, training, being a client, whatever it is. So out of that, I would just like to pretty much just elevate society's perception of what they're able to achieve.
Society's perception of potential.
Yeah.
I like it. It's got a nice ring to it. Hashtag. What else we got here?
Yeah. Hashtag.
What else we got here? Let's see. Considerations you take with exercise selection when programming for a client. Who wants to take that one first?
Very well.
Go on then.
So what's the number one thing we look for in exercise selection?
You tell me. You're the one answering.
I was repeating the question. That's the question.
So the question is considerations you take with exercise selection when programming for a client.
I mean, there's obviously a very simple process we're all going to follow here of like what the client's desired outcome is, specificity to that program, periodizing that, what we're trying to achieve out of it. But like one thing I like understanding with people is I like the understanding of stimulus to fatigue ratio and like, is this exercise, though it's cool for you, and if you tell me you love deadlifts or whatever, but your body fatigues after like 3 sets and you've got to still do the rest of the program, is it beneficial for you to do this exercise? Is there another way we can do it and still get max intensity out of you that doesn't affect the rest of your program or that can help get you through the rest of your program? Versus like, let's do one kick-ass set of squats and then your back's fucked for the rest of your entire training program. So like the specificity and all that sort of stuff makes sense. It's always like a key thing. But for me, it's like, yeah, that's cool. But also the stimulus to fatigue ratio plays a pretty up there part for me in terms of why are we doing this exercise and what do you get out of it versus something else we could do in its place.
Yep. Fair.
Looking at first things first is like, what is this specific client's needs analysis and what is the outcome that we're trying to drive? As well as taking into account that individual's capacity to be able to perform said exercise. Because, do they even have the range of motion required for them to perform an exercise that I'm going to put them in, for example, if they're set on barbell squatting, but they're not in a position where they actually have the capacity nor the range of motion to safely barbell squat, I may program variations of that movement prior to start, obviously, working into new ranges of motion, pushing range of motion, stability, flexibility throughout, prior weeks of a training block before, I suppose, subbing that exercise out for something in the future. So I suppose it depends on really working back on what this individual's actual goal is, because, if it's 9 times out of 10, if they're coming to me, it's a body composition goal.
Yeah.
They're either trying to, lose body fat, gain muscle, compete on stage, and I'll kind of use that and dictate that and kind of work back from there. And then I suppose, that's without going into too much more detail. I think that pretty much sums it up pretty well. But yeah, like Ben was saying with the stimulus to fatigue ratio in terms of exercise selection, when you're conducting like your needs analysis for whatever movement pattern that you're kind of putting the client through, does this person actually need to perform that exercise, or can you use a better movement pattern that is better suited to that individual's anthropometry, their biomechanics, or do they just love that exercise or have an emotional attachment to said exercise? Because again, when we're talking about hypertrophy outcomes, I'm not into powerlifting or programming specifically for powerlifting often anymore. I did do a bit of it in the past, but I don't do any of it at the moment. It's all specifically body composition focused, hypertrophy based focused. So understanding that there's no must do exercises for that specific outcome. It's a pretty robust adaptation in that you can use a bunch of different movement patterns to cause hypertrophy. It's rather like more of an outcome than it is, I suppose, or it's more of a consequence than it is like an actual outcome that's in some instances you actually need to train for. So with exercise selection, like I said, Ben said he covered it quite well with stimulus to fatigue ratio, just picking movement patterns that suit that individual.
Yeah. The only thing I'd add into that is also just picking movements or equipment that they actually have access to. That's probably the only other. And
actually, a good segue to that too is today, obviously, we were going to train hamstrings, right? So we went in because obviously Ben's coming down on Saturday. So we're like, oh, well, we'll go in and we'll train hamstrings today. We get in there, every fucking piece of equipment is taken. So often if you're training in a commercial gym, you're going to have to be a little bit more flexible. So understanding, for example, we had something programmed like an incline cuff lateral. We decided to scrap hamstrings because literally every piece of leg.
Yeah, we were not doing legs today.
So we decided to train push.
Wasn't happening.
Not today.
And obviously in our program at the moment, I have this program to do a incline cuff lateral, but we could not, for whatever reason, get onto the cable stack. So we're like, okay, we'll sub it out for a like exercise. We subbed it out for like a machine lateral, So make common sense choices like that where you're able to.
Yeah, my boobs are going to be so sore tomorrow.
Back to what you were saying, Chrissy, like an example of one of my clients, just before we get too carried away, her previous coaching, like she loved squatting, and her previous coaching, like she told me like she absolutely loves squats and she'd been doing them with a coach for ages. And when I actually got a video of her squatting after she'd been telling me she'd been doing them, and it wasn't disrespect to her. She actually had a very high stance hip at the finish of the movement. Like she couldn't get into like that depth. And I'm looking at her anatomy and actual like structure. Me and Scaff talked about it. I think we talked about it on the podcast, but I just got her to start practicing heel elevated goblet squats. And she's like, I've never felt my quads like this in my life. So still the same similar movement. We're still getting to practice squatting or a squat based pattern.
Just a regression.
A regression that really has got better hypertrophy and stimulus in her muscle anyway. And she showed herself that she can reach that depth comfortably without any issues. So we'll just progress that eventually to, okay, let's get back to squats if we need to, if you love them. But now you've got a better understanding of what depth looks like.
You know what's important about that is that it's not as simple as just barbell back squat on the program. You follow this sets and reps. You know, you've actually gone back and you understand this unique individual's capacity to move.
Yeah.
Not just programming an exercise because, barbell back squat here looks cool. It's that right there is individualizing something to a client and their current capacity. That is what a good coach will do. If they're just giving you barbell bench press and they don't even ask a question about it, they don't even ask for video feedback, they have no understanding of what your capacity to perform that exercise is, like, what are you paying them for?
Yeah. Well, the second I saw the video, I was like, okay, cool. I appreciate that you like squatting. I love the fact that you love squatting. That's a cool thing. Like I love when people love exercise. But big old butt, you're getting like a 2/3 squat here and it's loading your hips and lower back to get back up anyway. Because it became more of like a hip extension and then
like a good
flexion.
Morning.
Yeah, it really became that. And I was like, really not trying to achieve that here. Let's get you underweight that you can actually move properly and show yourself that you can get knee flexion. And then, she's like hitting a depth that's bang on perfect. Squat pattern's fine. And I'm like, cool. For now, this is what we start with. As opposed
when you
to
move into that progression again, eventually that barbell back squat will be fucking on point.
Yeah, exactly. I might elevate your heels a little bit to get you used to it still and get you actually still in that depth. But that's a progression we can work on that for now we have to step back. And she's still satisfied with the program because she's like, my quads fucking hurt.
Exactly.
Good.
Well, I think we covered that pretty extensively. Would you rather vegan? So I'm guessing be vegan, not a vegan.
No.
Would you rather be vegan or gluten-free?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. No one wants to be vegan. I mean, it was a fair attempt at trying to make a controversial question.
No,
as soon as you throw
there's
vegan,
nothing controversial.
So let's devil's advocate a little bit. Would you rather vegetarian or gluten-free? I feel like that's a bit tougher.
No, I'm still going gluten-free. Like I still have meat and stuff then.
I'm just asking the question. I feel like that would be a bit more of an incentive.
That is, but I still.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah, I'm still going to go gluten-free anyway, but I feel like that's a better question.
If I at least go vegetarian or vegan, I have to join the cult and I don't have to go like spray people at KFC and paint blood everywhere.
Usually if you're gluten-free, you're probably celiac, so you'll actually die from eating it anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas otherwise,
unless
probably a choice.
You're outside of the fitness industry and someone's told you gluten-free somehow holds a calorie representation, you're going to diet better because you don't have gluten.
I mean, that too.
Gluten isn't a calorie?
PEDs to get bigger.
Well, they all kind of do the same thing. Right?
I was going to say, they all make you get bigger.
The devil is in the dose.
Well, I guess, hold on. If you want to get really technical, not all PEDs, all anabolics make you big.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah, if you want to get technical. So I guess question being PEDs to get bigger, I'm assuming he means anabolics to get bigger, which makes much more sense for us. They all make you bigger. It's just at what cost?
This is true.
They all have different, they all have different side effects, I guess. Some have a common side effects and then they have their own individual side effects. Which ones are you willing to risk when it comes to your health, really?
Well, anything for starters, I think that has human trials and human data to support its use.
Yes. So
or anything that's currently used in clinical practice or clinical application in some other whacked out for some other reason.
Yeah.
That's at least better than no human trials, random research drug that you're putting into your body that you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You could sprout an extra head.
So you can mitigate the...
Or has failed multiple carcinogenicity tests.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that would be kind of funny. It's just like pops a pill and head pops out. Like, wait, what? Where did that come from? That wasn't in the side effects list.
Did you grow up in Gympie?
Are you from Tassie? That is it for questions. Unless anyone else had any good questions, which no one else ever does because no one else does their job except me.
I forgot to ask.
I'm very well aware. That's why I was saying.
It's my first week back at work. I'm fucking under the pump this week. You know?
Shut up.
Brooklyn did message me. She's like, you forgot to do the question. I'm like, you know what?
You know what? I'm just going to ask Brooklyn to do it for us. On your behalf, I'm going to get Brooklyn to do it, and then I'll just do it because she's obviously a champ and you suck.
I mean,
yeah. You're like, look, I got nothing.
No, all right.
That's not a question we need. So let's play Shame of Life is what I was grabbing my cards for.
Right.
We do have a new game coming soon once these cards run out. I'm just trying to work out the finer schematics of it.
What is it?
But I got it as a Christmas gift. It's down. Actually, no, it's called Bad People. Oh, hold on.
Well, that sounds cool.
Would you rather be Hitler or Stalin?
Nearly necked myself, but that's fine. Bad People was a question game. Anyway, can't speak English. It's fine. See, it's got like scorecards and shit. So I'm kind of like, I haven't gone through the actual rules because. But there's
while you figure that out, let's play Shame of Life before we have dead air for 20 minutes while Scaffy tries to read.
Well, I was just trying to pull out a card to see what happens. But anyway, here we go. Which player is most likely to hurt themselves in a humiliating sexual accident? My money's on Chris.
Humiliating sexual accident. Yeah, it probably would be me.
The question is, what would you be doing?
Risky wank.
I mean,
he was very quick on that. I feel like there's a story there.
at this point in prep and started to deplete and be tired, he's definitely
not now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to injure himself somehow. Pull a groin, pull a fucking hip flexor.
Probably would just like pull an adductor or something.
Trying to get like one leg up over something.
Yeah, I feel
Chris,
like
you're no longer that flexible. I can't come unless my leg's back here over this and rotated this way.
Like, just because you're leaner doesn't make you more flexible.
Just makes you more tired and vulnerable.
What else we got? A boring superpower that would make you the envy of your peers. A boring superpower.
You can heat food.
Heat food.
That's all you can do. Like your hand would like heat up, and you can have something like warm, like you could like a microwave kind of thing.
So warm, not hot.
Oh, warm enough that you can heat your food up.
Oh, yeah, see, that's interesting. I feel like if it was hot, like that'd be cool. Warm, I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. You're just warming something up. Like that's not that cool.
On command, you can grow your penis an inch.
Yeah, nah.
Literally the most useful superpower. But I mean, if you guys are envious of 3 inches, well, imagine 4 inches.
I was going to say, but if you're hung and you get another inch.
It's like, imagine if you've only got
you're welcome.
half an inch and you get an inch on top of that.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a boring, I'm trying to think, are there actual boring superpowers when you really think about it?
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Jubilee from X-Men, like she makes sparkle fingers.
I got one. You can make people fart on command.
I feel like that wouldn't be boring though. That'd just be fun.
But it'd get boring after a while.
Like imagine
you're
just
also
like
in the room, right? Keep that in mind.
You're fighting Thor, like you're fighting like Thanos. You're just like
make him shit his pants.
Yeah,
it's like at the end of
it's like he's still going to kill you, but he's humiliated.
That's like it's like the end of Infinity War where he says should have gone for the head. He just
That'd be great.
Let's see. What is God's guilty pleasure?
Oh.
So do we make dead baby jokes now or later?
What'd you say, Ben? I bet, Chris.
I said creating thoughts.
Creating thoughts. Righto.
I'm going to tempt the men that I say shouldn't do these things with these things.
Yeah.
That fucking hypocrite.
Like, I'm going to tempt them by giving them an apple and telling them not to eat the apple.
How many Catholic pedophile jokes would that to make in this podcast?
That in itself has got us cancelled.
You're an enablerist. No, I just enjoy a good joke.
All right.
How dare you enjoy something?
Your entire high school class reciting a love poem you have written, or your crush discovering your porn.
Porn. I mean, fuck.
Okay, now just I would have gone.
I mean, as long as she's into hentai tentacle porn, it's like whatever.
I was going to say, I don't care either way.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's now. Now go back to high school.
I still don't care either way.
If my crush has discovered my porn, it means she's in a place where she's finding my porn. So
yeah, it's kind of like if you're looking at my laptop, like my laptop's with me.
Dude, when I was in high school, I didn't even have a fucking laptop, so there was no.
I had phone porn or like
it was fucking magazines. My dad's picture magazine that he had in the.
Yeah, no, I can't say much. I was lucky. I went to a grammar school.
Or like the Kmart lingerie section.
But yeah, if I was lucky, yeah.
Yeah, well, fair enough. The most unsettling cartoon sex scene.
Cartoon.
Annie with Pepe Le Pew. That dude gets after it.
I was gonna say, I feel like something to do with like The Simpsons.
Again, are you watching hentai porn or are you watching?
No, I'm just thinking. I don't know if it's meant to be like a real cartoon
most
sex
cartoons
scene because I don't think I've ever seen a real cartoon.
Like fucking not like that sort of show.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking. Like
unless you go down like actually no. I got one. So in Rick and Morty, right? In Rick and Morty, do you guys watch Rick and Morty at all?
Yeah.
So there's an episode where Morty goes into this bathroom and that fucking giant circle thing tries to rape him.
Fuck yes.
Have you seen that one?
No, so I don't think I've seen it.
And he ends up bashing the fuck out of it and kills it.
Yeah.
And it comes out like crying. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, that was
unsettling though. I was not expecting it.
I guess the other one then would be that teenage. Oh, fuck, what's the animated? You would have seen it, Chris? It'd be on Netflix, and it's got the horny monster.
Yes.
They have some of the most awkward
like lizard. Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah. They've got some of the most awkward like sexual reference scenes or just sex scenes in general.
It's all about puberty, like kids growing up.
Yeah. There's the horny monster and they experience puberty and shit. And it's like the chick has hers and the dude has his, and it's fucking hilarious and just so uncomfortable because it's like that's actually true.
It's so real, like it's so fucking good. Cannot remember what it's called, but it's a cartoon on Netflix and it's got.
And that's some uncomfortable shit in that.
It's so real, isn't it? You do some whacked out shit as a teen growing up. Like, you don't even realize what's happening with all like the hormonal.
Should I wank this another seventh time? Probably not.
Yes.
But
the skin off my penis, but one wolf wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. I'm literally red raw at this point.
But
may as well go the whole 9 yards.
Literally go for 9. A TV show you wouldn't want to have a sex dream about.
Anything with Freddy Krueger.
I was going to say MASH.
Or did you say TV show or movie?
Yeah, TV show.
TV show.
I'm going with MASH.
Yeah, MASH is pretty good.
MASH. What was it, like 4 o'clock, 4:30, Channel 7 every day after primary school?
Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, yeah, Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah. Getting a stag about fucking Nazis and shit. Probably not okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with one of those two. Or I immediately just think of Deal or No Deal for some reason. I think
I'm gonna get erection of that money.
All those shows are in the same time slot.
The Chase.
You know what's fun now? You know what's funny now is like people really get shafted. It's like back then you get to pick a case. There may be 200 grand in it. Now, you fucking got to try and beat the chaser, and no one makes it out in the chase.
Yeah. No,
but like maybe like 20 grand, if that. You got to split between 3 people. It's like you fucking cheapskate.
Yeah.
Hey man, inflation's real, all right?
Well, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It used to be one person working his way to $1 million. Now, every time someone gets a question wrong, it devalues the fucking total prize.
Yeah.
And you end up being a smart guy at the end, and you've had a bunch of plebs before.
Yeah, and you've only got like one question to answer. You automatically
might get
like
$5 grand.
But yeah, you get the smallest fucking pot.
Yeah,
fucking bullshit.
And it's like a really hard question too. It's like the hardest
all the
question.
Other questions before that, you're like, I knew that.
Yeah. And it's like the most impossible question for $5 grand. You're like, really? Anyway.
Define string theory for $5,000. No, fuck
man, I swear to God, they also, even on the chase, they really like some of the questions that they ask the actual people that are trying to win the money are fucking pretty hard. And then they throw it over to the chaser and they're all fucking easy.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's supposed to be house always wins, right? Last one. What ingredients would you include in the bath bomb of your nemesis?
A bath bomb?
Yeah. I'm going to go with sulfuric acid.
Chlamydia?
I mean, that's a good one.
Hydrochloric acid.
Yeah. Anything with acid. Yeah.
What about some of my deoxyribonucleic acid?
What is that? It's going to be a simple chemical I don't know the name of.
DNA.
Oh, well done.
Well played.
In my head, I'm thinking he's going to jack off into the
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
That's where I went to as well. Yeah.
You're an idiot. Anyway, I'm leaving it there. We've only got a few cards left, actually.
Oh,
And then we've got the new game, which I've got to work out. Yeah, there's a lot of cards in this new game.
have we decided what we're actually
We've got double down cards here. We've got friggin' voting cards.
what are we doing for the podcasts as I arrive in the new land?
We're going to be doing it on the Saturday, I believe. So because of today's little switch around with training, I think we're going to do legs on Friday. So when you land, we're going to get some food into you and then train legs.
Back up.
This is going to be fun.
Gonna load you up with a milky cereal. We're going to be like full of like, we'll get some simple carbs. And
No, we're going to Zimbero. We're going
Sombreros.
Where's the nearest Guzman? My Guzman's to your gym.
Yeah, we'll get it Uber Eats. Fuck it. Sent to the gym. We'll do that, and then we'll do maybe a push-pull session. I think we're talking about on Saturday.
I think we're going to do like a quad-focused Cybex session on Friday, push-pull on Saturday, and then finish off with a touching on hamstrings on Sunday.
So yeah, what we'll do is we'll get Saturday recorded. So we'll do the push-pull. And we'll have someone recording the session and we'll cut some clips and shit. Actually, that's what I've been doing. I've been getting people to cut clips from some of the other podcasts that we've done. So we're trialing out editors and stuff for our Instagram page that we have not done anything on whatsoever. Whoops. I'm trying to think, actually, what are we up to?
I followed the page.
You did.
Follow the page. Like, subscribe, and follow.
You started. No, we're going all right with followers. So what are we at now? 52. So we're at 48 last week. So an extra 4 followers.
Follow the page if you haven't already.
For not doing anything. Take that.
10% increase.
Yeah, can't be mad at that.
Just look at the 10% increase, not the total number.
Yeah.
We don't worry about that.
Numbers.
52 was just a 10% increase. That's all people need to
know. So yeah, we've got a few things coming out for that, which would be good.
So are we doing a live like what's the word in the gym recording? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Now we'll do studio. So one of the guy who's going to do the recording has got a little studio set up as well. So we'll have the mics and everything set up. We'll just chill out. The camera's going. So they'll edit. And that's when we'll get the new editors to cut and edit clips. We'll have cameras on different angles, talking shit. So it should be fun.
Ooh, very nice.
That'd be good.
Feel fancy. Fancy.
Real fancy.
Oh, you fancy.
And then
meanwhile, I'm just here with my fucking Apple headphones.
I'm not actually even wearing pants right now. So
I actually wondered that. You know what I was wondering when we first sat down? I was like, when I was getting dressed and I tucked a shirt on, I was like, can I get away with just sitting, not wearing my jocks?
Next time you accidentally
no one's gonna know.
Get to stand up.
I was like,
he's like, I'm going to take a piss.
My dick's just hanging like this.
That's very generous.
Yeah, bad.
Oh, like
that's why he wanted the extra half inch. Nah.
That's a good superpower for me.
There you go. Yeah, I think that's about it. We'll just work out some food and shit, and that'll be that.
Sounds good to me.
Anything else going on that we need to know about before we get off?
I mean, we can all get off if you want to.
I mean, that's
could be a bit weird. Could be a bit weird if it's still live.
Do we make eye contact or
that's not for YouTube though? That's for you.
That's on the weekend.
That's for OnlyFans.
That's for Pornhub.
Whatever social media content.
Bros with brains. OnlyFans coming soon.
It's like, what do you mean coming soon? It's already here.
Yeah, no, just everything's same as usual. Membership is up and running. A few people signed up to that, which is really cool. Appreciate it. And yeah, just still working on the course, signing up clients is what it is. We keep trotting along.
Yeah, much the same. It's been a very busy re-entry to the new year. Got quite a few clients competing in season A. Got myself competing in season A. Still continuing to write my courses. I would say roughly about 60% of the way through. So we'll be up to the recording stage soon, and then we'll be releasing those. So that'll be fun. But outside of that, it's just prep and the wheels are turning.
Sounds like a plan. Until
what about you?
Nothing. Working, training, eating, sleeping.
Short and sharp. I like it.
Short and sharp. Mental ship's up and running. Coaching clients again, back up. All that usual shit. So back into it.
Beautiful.
That's it. And that's it from us, as always. Catch you on a Saturday. Well, for our next recording.
Exciting times.
Exciting.
We'll actually probably get an episode ahead. Look at us go, adults. As always, thank you to the listeners for tuning in. And if you have any questions, ideas, suggestions, let us know. We will try and talk about it, even though we had one today and we didn't talk about it at all. That happens.
We got all these questions and we just didn't even answer them.
got on a rant about Maccas because we all got excited.
Hey, that's understandable. It's fair.
I think listeners would appreciate it and they would understand that.
That we are human and enjoy Maccas. Yes.
Except for me, I don't enjoy Maccas.
Yes, because Chris.
Except for McFlurries, that's about it.
We didn't even get into desserts. Jesus.
They don't even stir them anymore.
For next week.
They don't even stir them anymore.
Bro,
actually,
next week. Before we go real quick on McFlurries.
Oh, here we go.
It fucking pisses me off when they give you the cup and they just they fill it. There's like this much space left in the top. I'm like, bro, you handed me a drink that's like overfilling out the top.
No, that's like when, honestly, it's when you get a frozen Coke. It's when they give you a frozen Coke and it's like full when they fill it, but because then it compresses, it's like half full. You're like, yeah, can you fill that
to
up?
my fucking ice cream?
fill that shit up, please. Anyway,
do it to my McFlurry, please.
Anyway, we're going to get off before Chris gets angry. Too much trend. Catch you later, guys.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.